Welcome to episode 268. Chris Larsen, world's richest cryptocurrency self-made billionaire. This is an outline of episode 268. There are 3 reasons why we study Chris Larsen. First, in April 2018, he's the richest cryptocurrency self-made billionaire, founder of Ripple with a net worth of $4.7 billion. Second, he is the father of Internet of Value. Third, he's a veteran and serial entrepreneur and started Ripple when he was 52. Let us meet Chris Larsen. This is his description of OpenCoin and the Ripple protocol in 2013.
So a lot of you may have heard about Bitcoin. It's been in the news quite a bit lately. Ripple is really a second generation of the Bitcoin concept. And as many of you know, Bitcoin and Ripple are really 2 things. They are a new global currency, what we call a math-based currency. But maybe even as more importantly, they are global free payments networks. And what we've tried to focus in with Ripple is that second part. What we're trying to build is a global payment network that allows anyone, anywhere in the world, to send any currency basically for free, that is irreversible, so that you can make payments much more efficient. So we look at the currency that we've created in Ripple really as more of an enabler of a new global payment system. It's an open protocol. We don't charge fees to use our system. You don't have to license anything with us. Look at Ripple like HTTP for money.
Chris Larsen was born in San Francisco, California in 1960 to middle-class parents. His father is an aeronautical technician for the San Francisco airport. In 1984, at the age of 24, Larsen graduated from San Francisco State University with a bachelor's degree in accounting and finance. His first job was working at Chevron doing financial audits in Brazil, Ecuador, and Indonesia. In 1991, at the age of 31, he earned an MBA from Stanford University. In 1996, Chris Larsen and Janina Palowski co-founded eLoan. They were both idealistic. They think the banks and lending institutions were evil, and they were fighting for consumer rights. Here's a picture of Janina Palowski.
Borrowed, and we started eLoan on credit card debt. So definitely very familiar with the ins and outs of credit card debt.
But this is the founder of eLoan we're talking about, a company that not only survived the tech crash, but went on to sell for $300 million. So
you have out here, and how does that work?
Well, we have 153 acres of pastures here. And what we do is we keep the hens inside the trailer. It's kind of a portable, literally a portable coop. You want to move them, so when this starts to look like it's dried out and you can't see anything green, then we'll put them in here, and you move them at night, actually, because it's the best time to move them. And then you move them onto a fresh pasture, and they're out again in the morning.
Very neat. How often are you gathering eggs here?
In 2005, Chris Larsen founded Prosper.
tell me about Prosper.com.
Prosper is a person-to-person lending marketplace. Essentially, we're trying to build sort of an eBay for money. So where people who are looking to borrow money make loan listings, much like you would on eBay. And then anybody who owns money, so anybody with money, not just lenders, but someone with as little as $50 can bid on that borrower's listing. So the idea is that borrowers should get lower rates than they would on their credit card or bank account. And most borrowers are looking at Prosper not as a place where, I can't get credit anywhere, I'm going to Prosper, but actually, when I'm paying all this money at a credit card company, why don't I go to Prosper and I know that there's people that instead of making 4% on their bank account, and I'm paying 19 on my credit card, why don't we come together and we'll, split the difference or go somewhere in the middle.
How's it going so far?
Pretty well. So we're pretty.
In September 2012, Larsen founded the company OpenCoin, which in 2014 became Ripple Lab.
Ripple website, you can see that Ripple and XRP is a banking thing. They do partnership. This is their members, Santander, RBC, UBS, UniCredit. It's all banks, guys. So what XRP does is it's for international bank transfers. So they handle any transactions going bank to bank. At the moment, they're doing it in South Korea and also Japan. So a lot of those banks have come on board, and they're actually using XRP right now because it's a lot faster and it's a lot cheaper.
In January 2018, Chris Larsen was briefly the richest person on Earth.
Ripple co-founder becomes the world's richest person. Is this reality, guys? What's going on? You know, one of the things that I love about the cryptocurrency economy is that I am always surprised. Having been in this market as long as I have, I mean, there are clearly distinct moments when I am fundamentally to my core surprised. And guys, well, we now have a richest person in the world. It's the Ripple co-founder. Ripple executive Chris Larsen has become the richest person in the world, according to reports assessing his stake in the exploding cryptocurrency Ripple. In tweet Wednesday, Bitfury founder and commenter George Kikfadez noted that Larsen's 37% stake in Ripple, which has implied market value around $320 billion, makes him richer than Bill Gates and Warren Buffett.
Chris Larsen is also the father of Internet of Value. An easier way to understand is Internet of Value or Internet of Money Exchange.
These fintech companies we've seen so far were built in sort of a pre-Internet of Value world, and now we're entering this sort of post-Internet of Value world. So I think what we're going to see is, you know, the same kind of Cambrian explosion of new businesses that popped up once the Internet got going. I think that's exactly what we're going to see in fintech. So I think we haven't seen anything yet compared to what's coming. And, you know, obviously the first two companies we were involved with were consumer. You know, we were trying to disrupt the banks. We're much more interested now in building that infrastructure that's going to enable this Internet of Value. And I'll talk, not because it's a bad idea, it's more, it's a work in progress. It's incomplete. There is something missing with globalization. And we like to use the analogy of fire. You know, you cannot have fire without fuel, oxygen, and heat. And I think the same thing applies with globalization. Globalization does not work unless you have interoperability between three things: data, goods, and money. And the truth is, we only have interoperability in two of those things. Goods and data are fully interoperable around the world. Money is not. So in some ways, we sort of have a fire without fuel. It's sort of the smoldering thing. We know there's potential there, but it really isn't delivering on all the promise. And probably, I think, safe to argue, it's actually making things quite a bit worse. An incomplete globalized system, but because the money part is not interoperable, you can't act on it. There's tons of parts of our planet where you can see, but you can't act. And that's a big problem.
What have I learned today? First, in 2014, Chris Larsen founded Ripple Lab at age 54. Second, in 2018, Chris Larsen is the world's richest cryptocurrency self-made billionaire. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and leave your questions and comments below. My next video will be Chris Larsen, 10 Lessons. Wishing everyone peace and prosperity.